Alrighty, everyone ready? Alrighty, let's call the Board of Public Works and Capital Assets of November 12th, 2024 to order. Roll call.
Hill is here.
Marshall here.
Guzikowski here.
Zarnecki here.
Seifert here.
Sigali here. Alright. Approval of minutes from 10/8 of 2024. Any notations or corrections or anything that anyone saw? No? Then we need a motion for that.
Kelly moves to approve the minutes of October 8th, 2024.
Zarnecki will second.
Roll call. Hill, aye.
Marshall abstained.
Guzikowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Kelly, aye.
Alrighty. Review of Common Council and Capital Assets.
I'll go ahead and start. Good morning, Francesca Loiagano, Management Assistant with the city. Just a couple of items to share, mostly from October. The first one being that council did go ahead and approve the recommended road recommendations for 2025 that you guys made. So that will be advertised for bid. Use and recycling contract award with GFL Environmental. That's a 5-year contract. Their bid came in their bid came in $31,000 less than the extension proposal that they had originally offered. So that's good news for the city. And then additionally, on November 19th, council will be having their public hearing to adopt the 2025 capital and operating budgets, and those documents are available online if you haven't been able to take a look at those quite yet.
So we're really happy that GFL came in low, because just to avoid disruption with our provider and retraining the public, it's good that they were low. So, and we've had really good service with them. I'd also say that at the budget workshop that the council had, I think we reported out to the board last month that the council directed the staff to go forward with an increase to the stormwater management fee, in an increase of $31 to make that $70 per ERU to handle some of those, backlog of maintenance and the future investments that we talked about at our capital workshop. Also, along with the road recommendations, we had robust conversation with the council about really the need to further invest in not only our roads. We have $1 million annually allocated for roads, but really all of our surface transportation assets, our sidewalk network, and our trail system. And I think there was a really strong willingness of the council to remain at the 1 million as we hadn't published this budget, but really looking for a policy proposal to make meaningful investments in that annual allocation for, generally speaking, roads. So you may have a lot more work to do next year. We may have a bigger list of roads to tackle and some other surface transportation items, but all really positive news. Probably a little bit overdue, but very much a willingness to continue to invest and stay on top of those assets. So very encouraging budget workshop. I don't know, 3 of you are up there, so your leadership is, we thank you for that, and we'll bring something back for you to consider.
Any questions?
We lived through it.
Questions?
He lived through it.
We did. Alrighty. Okay, then we'll move on to number 5. Consider a motion to approve change order number 1 for West Rawson Avenue hydrant relocation and water relay project to UPI Inc. in the amount of $7,223.
wasn't leaking?
No questions?
Anything down there, guys? Ready? Then, we need a motion.
Marshall will move to approve change order number 1 for the West Rossin Avenue hydrant relocation and water relay project to UPI in the amount of $7,223.
Gale seconds.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Bernacki, aye.
Galli, aye.
Alrighty, number 6, consider a motion to award the Drexel Lift Station Fiber Award to Wilsurge Electric, Inc., based upon the bid amount of $25,327.05.
So this project involves installing fiber optic cable, communication cable to the Drexel Avenue Storm Lift Station. Right now, that communication is handled via a phone line. We've had significant problems over the years with that. Just about any time it rains now, that line's going to go out. We have to send someone out to try and diagnose it. We have to then call AT&T and have them schedule an opportunity to get out there. It just is a mess. It's really old technology. The modems that we use both at the lift station and at the plant, we're buying on eBay now, try and keep things running. So this is obviously just modernizing it. A tremendous price, really. You can see on the second sheet all the other bids there, and this one came in almost $10,000 cheaper than the estimate from the contractor. MC&E, this was coordinated by the IT department here. MCE did that proposal work and gathered the bids. So the recommendation is Wilsurge for the $25,327.05.
Questions, anyone?
That number's not, why is that number not matching up? Because on the bid, it's 186051.
That's the second item. That's the Garden Place item.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if I was on the right page. Okay, sorry, Mike.
Questions? Motion.
Gale move to award the Drexel Lift Station Fiber Award to Wilsurge Electric, Inc., based on the bid amount of $25,327.05.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Bernacki, aye.
Galli, aye.
Okay. Number 7, consider a motion to award the Garden Place Lift Station Fiber Project to Wilsurge, Inc. in based on the bid amount of $18,060.51.
So very similar to the previous project, this is a sanitary lift station. Similarly, the communication is handled via phone. In this case, we're replacing the force main in Garden Place as well as on Clement at that lift station. So we're taking the opportunity, since we're replacing the force main, we can add this fiber in here to handle communication there. This is a location where radio is not going to work for us. We are transferring some of the lift stations over to our radio network. Clement will work great because it's real close to Howell Tower. This one doesn't, so fiber is a great opportunity here as well. Again, a very good price on that.
The pricing seems so out of skew, though, between the different contractors. Or do you have any concerns there?
No.
Have you worked with Wilsurge before?
Yes.
Okay.
Not on fiber, but yes, I have on the electrical side. And they've
Okay.
done good work. We've been happy with their work. So, yeah, and I know the MCE has worked with them on the fiber side. I felt they're a qualified contractor as well, so, yeah.
It just seems, I mean, between 18 and 70,000, that's a big swing.
It is. You see kind of a smaller grouping towards the bottom and a little bit of a grouping towards the top. If they're busy, a lot of times they'll just throw in a bid and they get it, they get it.
We need a motion.
Marshall will move to award the Garden Place Lift Station Fiber Project to Wilsurge Incorporated based on the bid amount of $18,060.51.
Bernacki will second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Scally, aye.
Alrighty, number 8, consider a motion to approve the utility vouchers, in the amount of $1,308,386.21. Anyone?
Nothing in particular stands out on
Okay.
this one.
Anyone up here have a comment or a question? No? Alrighty, motion?
Gail move to approve the utility vouchers in the amount of $1,308,386.21.
Marshall, second.
Roll call.
Gail, aye.
Marshall, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Scally, aye.
Alrighty, number 9, consider a motion to approve the 2025 capital budget and for Oak Creek Water and Sewer Utility.
I'll go ahead and break down the packet just a little bit, and then we can get into it in more detail. The first 3 sheets are sort of summary sheets for you. All of the rest of the sheets are all very detailed sheets on the individual projects, what have you. So the first sheet, I'll go through the first 3 just in general terms, and then we'll come back and revisit them again. The first shows all of the projects in title, what the requested budget amount is, and how they're split between water and sewer. It also gives you the last 5 years of history of the capital program. I've got a bit more detail for you as well on that. The second sheet is a projected cash flow for the end of 2025. And to me, the most important things on this sheet are the yellow highlighted line. That is the proposed projects for the 2025 CIP. It matches that first sheet that we'll come back to. The next line is that rose-colored line. That shows the projects that are carried over from previous capital budgets that are continuing to be worked on. That'll match the third sheet when we get to that. And probably the most important line on the whole sheet is the green line at the bottom showing that there's a positive cash flow balance if these projects were committed to. That third sheet then shows in more detail by title the projects in progress. These are projects that were approved in previous years' capital budgets that we're continuing to work on. It shows the amount remaining and then how that's split between water and sewer. And again, those numbers match that number on the carried over number from the second sheet. So with that, the first sheet, we can do it however you would like. I'm more than happy to go through every project and talk about the detailed sheets behind, and we can look at some of the pictures and what have you. Or I can answer any questions that you might have from that first sheet if there's a particular project that you'd like to talk more about, and maybe you don't want to talk about some of the others. It's completely up to the board. I will say though, I had this little piece in there. We have talked in the past about what the split between distribution, treatment plant, and projects has been over the years. And over the last 5 years, the average amount for distribution has been $366,000. You can see that we're quite a bit higher than that this time, and that's largely due to the sewer camera truck commitment. On the water side for distribution, the average is $212,000. This particular year is proposed at $301,000, and sewer has been $154,000. This year, $358,000. Again, that's largely due to the sewer truck. Treatment plant has been averaging $355,000 per year. This year, we're at $300,000, so it's kind of in the ballpark. And then projects get a little bit difficult in that there's projects, and then there's what we're saving for our underground facilities rehab project, which is taking a large chunk of money. But that total average is 6.1 million. 5.5 for water, 681 for sewer. So of the 5.1 for water, we're quite a bit less than that this year, you can see. But that really does jump around quite a bit. It ranges anywhere on the water side from 2.9 million to 11 million throughout the year. So there is quite a variety. I would say if you take out the underground facilities rehab project, the average 7-year average on water only is $2.2 million. And this year we're putting in 2.5. So in the ballpark there, typically. Hopefully that helps. So again, however you'd like to go through this, I'm more than happy.
Mike, question, as long as it's. On the bottom, I think of what would be, this page, on the backside of
Okay.
it. It lists your, kind of budget, historical budget projects that are kind of pending.
Yes.
Can you just give us a little color on the bottom 5?
Oh.
See if we're, where we are, if they're still viable projects, we intend to complete them, or where we sit.
Absolutely. So the Avonshine Park Water Main Loop Project, that is going to be bid out within the next week or so. We just received good bids on another project, so hopefully we're going to see good bids on that. It comes from Drexel Avenue, swings by where the beer garden's going to go, and heads off to that new development to the west to try and make a loop there. So that's what that project is. Again, it'll be bidding very shortly here. The next two, the Clement Avenue Force Main and Garden Force Main, they're in construction now, being worked on. The Orchard Reservoir Mixer is got some punch list. It's installed. It has some punch list items yet in order to complete that project. It's not at the moment. It's not functioning, but we're still working on that. So that one's in progress. And then the Shepherd Avenue Water Main project, that's in front of Edgewood Middle School. That project, we just received bids on that last week, and they came in very well. So we're moving forward with that project.
And, sorry, as long as we're on that page, the Howell Avenue, are we intending to do that while the county or state is doing, what's the status of that?
So the Howell Avenue relay, all we have to do is fix the patches that are out in Howell Avenue. Everything else is complete on the project. We've been meeting often with the DOT and the contractor, and we're having trouble getting the DOT to agree to a fix. We're very, very hopeful that we can get it done this year while asphalt's still available. But there's some disagreement at the DOT level within the DOT as to what the proper fix ought to be. So
Talking about that one piece that really has got this kind of.
there's several of them, yeah. There's several pieces that are out there that they're concerned about. We're trying really hard.
Mike, I have a question about the underground facility rehab project.
Yeah.
We've extended that for a number of years. How are we coming with that?
So
project?
we'll receive 60% design plans in mid-December, and we look to have that completed by first quarter of next year, the design, and then we're going to move on to our PSC application. That'll probably take most of the rest of the year, I would expect, for PSC review. But we're hopeful by fall of next year we'll be bidding that project out, starting construction in 2026. Yeah, we're right there. It's been a long time, but we're right there.
Oh, we've worked on that project a long time.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any other questions or comments? No? So do we need a motion on this?
Oh, Mike, sorry,
Yeah.
before we move on, just out of curiosity, I like the pictures.
Yes, I
I'm a
agree.
visual guy,
Me
so I
too.
like the pictures. Helps me. What is this beast, by the way? And where is it? Take it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's up in Sheboygan. That's the intake cleaning. What they do is they set a whole bunch of pumps on the shore. They're drawing water out of the lake, forcing it into that large pipe, which goes back into, in our case, it would be our low-lift building, forcing water back out through the intake, flushing that intake back out with a high volume of water. So it's low pressure, high volume, in order to try and scour that and clean it out. We know that the intake, our dive inspection revealed that it's 90 to 100% blocked off at this point, so it's effectively unusable. We also know, and we've known for years, that there is a hole in it partway through it. So the goal with this project is to get that cleaned out, repair that hole, and now we've got a viable intake that we can use.
I'm happy to hear that, by the way. I think
We've
it's
been talking
important,
about this for
right?
years, and it's either considered your backup intake or you abandon it. one of the two. And if it's not functioning, then it's not worthwhile. So yeah, we need to get on that.
I didn't know what the hell that was. It's kind of.
Yeah,
I thought that maybe it was some emergency intake. I was like, holy Christ, if you got to haul that around.
No, it really kind of gives you the perspective of how much water they're bringing in to flush this out. Now, I will say, Sheboygan or Two Rivers, I don't remember which one had it done, but they had it done, and I'd say it in the easy times. Now there's a lot more permitting required. The DNR recognized that while we say it's just sediment that was in the lake and is still in the lake, and we're just pushing it back out into the lake, yeah, that's not, you can't do that. So we are going to we're working with Stranded Engineering to help us through that process, but it's going to take a little work to get it done. Still needs to happen.
That's all I got. Idle curiosity.
Anyone has any other questions or comments? We need a motion, right?
Good on the motion, we good? You ready? Gail will move to approve the 2025 capital budget for the Oak Creek Water and Sewer.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Gale's aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Bernacki, aye.
Kelly, aye.
Number 10, informational, administrative, anything.
I do have just a couple little things, not so much on the admin report. On the engineering report, though, it mentions, and also mentions it on the distribution report, we had 4 water main breaks on 6th Street where they're replacing the bridge, and we have replaced some sewer, we've replaced a little bit of water. Really in the sewer section, due to the work and the disturbance going on there, we've had a number of water main breaks there. 3 water main breaks, 1 lateral that fell apart. It's been a tough go there for a little bit. The rest of the main looks good, so we're not considering replacing it at this point, but there was quite a bit of activity there. There was a great, speaking of pictures, there was a great picture of the water main break, not unrelated, water main break on Rawson Avenue. You can see the water spraying up into the air. Eric was our person that responded, and he said he could see it from the freeway when he got off the freeway to come in and respond. That was 20-inch main there. There was about a 4-inch hole that broke through. Again, there's a lot of construction activity going on there. There's a lot of disturbance. That's most likely what allowed this to finally let loose. So we got that repaired. And the bottom picture there is a cleaning of the Orchard Way Reservoir. So that's the inside of the reservoir. We take it down once every 10 years for a physical inspection. And then we'll clean out the little bit of sediment that's in the bottom of it. Just gives you a picture of the inside.
That's a wild picture.
Yeah.
So how long is that actually out of service, Mike?
It was about a week.
Really?
Yeah, it was about a week, and it was kind of a nervous week. So we draw it down as far as we can. We then have to drain it. That takes a while, what remaining. We also installed the mixer at the same time, so that took a little bit of time. The inspection takes the day plus to do that and the cleaning, and then we have to fill it real slow. But while we have to fill it, chlorinate it, let it sit for 24 hours, sample it, which takes another 24 hours to prove that it's disinfected, and then we can turn it back online. So it's nervous. As I mentioned in the report, it's 90% of our stored water out in the system, so it's a significant amount. But
That process like stress that structure? You have no water inside?
no, it's made for that. It's the water inside is pushing out against it. When the water's gone and it's pushing back in, yeah, it actually loves that, being in that depression.
Any other questions or comments on the reports?
I have a question. Mike,
Yes.
as the chairman, the vice chair of the new Water and Safety Partnership Performance. Is that a new program that's just been developed?
It is not. It's part of our involvement in the Partnership for Safe Water. I've been a vice chair on that committee for quite some time now, probably 12, 13 years. But the Phase 4, the Excellence Award for distribution is new. We just completed the criteria for that, and now we're reviewing the first application or first submittal. That part of it is very new. It's meant to be an extremely high bar, very difficult to get at. It's an iterative process with the utility, so we'll be going back and forth with them, asking questions. How do you work with that? What are you doing with this? Have you considered that sort of a thing? It really is meant to be a difficult, or a high achievement, difficult to get.
Are they still giving the award though for the standard a little lower than that?
So
Phase
we
three?
are Phase 3 Directors Award winners for both the treatment plant and the distribution system. Treatment plant also has a President's Award, which is the next layer up. Presidents mean you're meeting all of the numerical goals of the partnership, but still not fully optimized yet. And we're at that at treatment plant. We're not quite there on distribution. We're close. We've got some chlorine residual items that we want to stabilize a little bit more on that. We're actually right now going through our original self-assessment that we did in 2014. We're doing that again on distribution in order to try and see areas that we can improve. So we meet as a staff, selected group of staff, and we talk about areas for improvement within the distribution system. And it really is, it's looking at yourself critically is really what it's all about. We're pretty excited about that process.
Thank you.
We can make a motion to adjourn.
Almost adjourned.
Marshall?
Second?
Our
It's
roll
got work
call.
to do.
Our roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnacki, aye.
Sigali, aye.